Okay, so I've just got here to the outside corner of my cornfield on the permission farm. I'm in Cedar Hill, Tennessee, and this corn you can see is jumping, and I've got scrapes along this outside edge right here, this exterior edge, and even some, well, I don't have any right here, but I have a camera setting right up here in this tree looking over this whole corner, and I've been catching a lot of action right here. So I know they're using this edge right in these first couple rows, so we're going to set a couple sets. I've got some Duke 650s Pro Series. They're great traps. I actually got them on a lottery type draw from Blakely's Trapping Supply. Great guy, great company. Couldn't recommend him enough. He's a good man of his word, runs a great business, fast shipping, top-notch customer service. You got to check him out. It's Blakely's Trapping Supply. But we're going to get it set right here. And I'm filming by myself again today, so let me set up how I can this tripod best I can, and then we'll get to it. Okay, guys, I'm back here. I had a little technical difficulties. The camera just shut off. I went back to get batteries, and the missus wanted to come along, so now I've got a camera lady, so it works out even better. We started filming, it jumped modes on me, so you've missed a little. Let me catch us all up. We're on the same corner we was just a moment ago. Same setup, same spot where these coyotes are running the edge of this cornfield. What we've done is I've used my auger, we've dug or put our dirt hole in on this mound. You always want a backing for your coyotes. Even, I mean, it can be just a couple sticks, an old bone, anything. I've dug my dirt hole out. I've got it about that deep, 12 to 16 inches. You want it deep because them coyotes are slick and weary, and they will sneak up here, run down that with their mouth and grab it and be gone. So you want it about a foot deep at least, because when he gets there, he can't just reach in and grab it. He's got to work at it, and every time he's working at it, his paws are moving, and that's a better chance you got of him putting it where you need him to put it. So we've dug our dirt hole out. I've took some dirt, pounded up around here. I've not corralled it much. Like I say, they're weary. You cannot run a coyote up in a hole like you can a bobcat or a fox. Whew, boy, that old highway's loud, isn't it? Sorry about that, people. So now we're digging out our trap bed, and it is summertime in Tennessee, and it is hot. We are literally 350 yards off of a main highway here, and you can still hear it. I apologize for that. I'm running the Duke 650 Pro Series. They're a great trap for coyotes. I've really liked them. I won them in a lottery type drawing from Blakely's Trapping Supply. Once you set it, you got a night latch on them. Listen for this audible click. You hear that click? Look at that pan setting level right there. That's what you want. If that pan's jacked up or too low, you don't want it. It can fall down a hair, but you don't want it too low. But I use that to get my look here of what I need. You can see I need a little out here and here. And back to what I was saying about the trap, Blakely's Trapping Supply, stellar company. He's a great man. He's a man of his word. He's quick shipping. Customer service top notch. I can't say enough about the guy. I think he's out of Missouri. Check him out on Facebook. He runs a couple groups there. He's got his website up. Really good deal. I mean, I got $20 in gambling on a dozen of those 650s, so I couldn't be more happy with it. So we notch out a little here, and it's dry, so it's gonna take a little. Excuse me. Find a pan cover. There's a million different ways to do these kind of things, and everybody has their own way. I happen to like the fiberglass. I make my own. make sure I can sit good here, and I can. So next we want to set our trap so the coyote, when he does get caught, he can't run off with our trap on his foot and make trappers look like bad people. Take that wolf fang anchor. Old ground is dry. It don't take a whole lot, but it takes enough. Once you drive it, you get a hold of that and you set it. It goes in vertical, and as you pull it, it lays horizontal in that dirt. Drive it back down there, you damn near hook a truck to it, it's not going nowhere. Reset my pan cover here. I always work on your safety side of your jaws. This is a freshly new waxed and dyed trap. I waxed after season this year, and they're a little trigger happy. You still got to put about 3 pounds of tension on it. Now when you set your trap, you see that wobble? You can't have any of that wobble. So I'll pack a little of this dirt around and break some of them clumps up. You make sure none get under your trap bed, but you got to have some loose dirt there so you can pack it, because if you don't get that trap bed set, you'll never catch that old boy. Now, make sure your pan, excuse me, make sure your cover is over your pan good, and then you sift. Get a little of that fine dirt in there, and it'll help you set on this trap. Like I say, it's a little rougher in the summer than it is the fall, till you get the deep freezes, of course. And see, I pushed too hard, and now raise my pan up just a little. There went my night latch again. She is set. See, she's not rocking now. That's what you got to have. Now we need a little more dirt. This will just, if he catches any whiff of it, this will just look like coyote thought about digging around right here first. Scatter that off. Always get a little. Toss your big stuff in there. We're sitting good and flat. Now we just need some more. Buddy, it is dry. Look at that. Okay. I like to sift out here some too, so when he comes up, it's just not that one filling by the hole. It feels like dirt stuff's been moved all around. And a coyote will put his foot in the lowest spot. So you want to make sure right here where your money is, where your trap bed is, you want it just a touch lower than the rest of it. Now you see, if you look close, you can see my trap, my pan cover right there. You don't want that. So when you can see that pan cover, come back over it if it's dry weather like that and sift a little on top. Now that's thin, ready to rock. I don't want that stick there. And like this stick here, you set it right there, he'll step right over. I like to put one right along the edge of my jaws if it's a big trap. And that's gonna be our set trap. Now we wanna bait it. We wanna bait it. Always take your gloves off if you're gonna bait, because they will pick up on that. You get that mess on your gloves, the next trap you touch will smell like bait, and he'll dig it right up on you every time. Summertime, you want to be careful with what you bait with. You don't want any skunky essence like you do in the winter. So I go with another great trapping company, and that's Hoosier Trapping Supply. Their basic Top Dog works amazing. They have an Arctic, Top Dog Arctic. It's good for summertime, for wintertime. But for summer, I have found it works good. This is sheep's wool. Get your sheep's wool. Take you a chunk of bait here. Tuck down the hole. Take your sheep's wool. Shove it down in there with it. When he comes up smelling, he'll smell a sheep plus all that bait, and he'll see that fur down there, and it'll really get him going. I'm also going to try, I've not done any summertime trapping with Hoosier's jet fuel, but I've had a lot of luck with it, and it's not a strong skunk smell at all. So I want to put a drop of it right there, right towards the back of the hole. But you noticed I put it in the hole, not at just the back. A coyote will come up and roll in that, and if he rolls, he may trip the trap on his back, and he'll get right away from you. You got to catch him on that foot, so you don't want to put a lot of stuff up at high on your dirt hole, I've found. You want to put it down in it. So he definitely has to work for it. Since we hit that lure, I'll put another little piece of sheep's wool in there, rub it up with that lure, shove it way down in there. Okay. And they're extremely territorial, especially this time of the year. So a little urine never hurts to put around this hole here. We've got some coyote urines, all it is here. I'll put a shot of it right around that back there. He'll come down, they're hanging this corner right here, and they're pushing through this field hunting these does and fawns. He'll work this easier edge right here, and he'll pick up on that predominant wind right now is out of the southwest that pushes straight across here. Nighttime, if it swaps and we get anything out of the east, it's going to go back across that cornfield. So either way, if he gets within 100 yards of this side of this field, like I've been seeing him on camera, then his nose should pick that up and he should get after it. And like I said, if we can just kill one coyote out of here this summer, that's going to save a number of fawns, just one by itself. I've learned over the years where a place is good enough to set one trap, it's good enough to set two. So you never know, we could double here and get two, but we're definitely going to set another one. I'm just going to fall up here about 10 yards on the same trail as this. I'm just going to put it on the opposite side for the winds, and we're going to repeat the steps. So follow along with me and we'll set up over here. All right, guys, so we've got back over here. We've come down, we're literally about 18 yards from that one, right here where we can double. We've got a good tuft of grass here, and it's right off this edge. The deer were out this scrape line right behind us here, and I'm about 5 yards off that outside edge of the corn. Film it right there, that edge. See, the deer cross there, and they will step on your trap and set it off. It won't hold them, they'll kick it right off their leg, but we don't want we don't want deer tripping our sets all the time. So I stepped in 5 yards, and I've got a tuft of grass right outside these edges of corn, and we're going to set us a trap bed right here. This is again another Duke 650. I'm a big Bridger and MB 550 guy, but given the price and the chance on these, and I'm gonna tell you, you throw you some JC Connor shock springs on there, this thing's a tank. It will hold a dog. I held a dog due to work and the schedule. I'm usually there first thing in the morning. My traps are checked. My traps are checked every 6 to 12 hours. I couldn't get to that one for almost 18 hours. And he was held full paw, no problem at all. So God forbid it did take you almost a full day to check sets. That's a trap you can depend on. First thing I like to do is we will get our dirt hole set. Of course. That ground is hard. Once again, we're a good 18 inches. And you don't have to worry about it being too deep for him to smell, because I promise you, he will smell it. Them canines have a nose like no other. About right there. We'll come right here, dig around a little bit on the top and get us some sifting dirt. And kind of tear this whole little area up. And that gets his alert off high. If a dog comes in to good solid hard packed ground, and then there's just one little spot of loose ground, and he starts to feel that on his foot pad, he'll get around it because he knows something's different there and he don't understand it. But if you'll make it where there's a big area, you know, the size of a 2 or 3 foot spot, then he gets comfortable way back here with this difference in the feel on his paw, and he won't think twice about stepping on your pan trap or trap pan. So little things like that I always remember. And the main thing is you want your trap bed to feel as natural as the rest of the ground and look like it belongs there. And make sure that no debris gets under your pan. I should have brought dry dirt with me, because we got to dig quite a bit to get just enough to cover this pan. This ought to do us though. Well, looks like I'm gonna need just a little more. That big clump, you don't want it. And because this is open like it is, you want something just like that. That's enough to keep him. He won't work that from the back just because of this grass and stuff sticking up. He'll come in right here. And the way this is, I'm gonna have to watch this spot right here. So when I run into a situation like this, because I kind of was working with that backing and I could have been here, I'll come in like this and I'll dig that up And I'll put it right there. Now he won't step on all that. He'll come in this open area right here. Like you say, the more open you've got it, the better he's gonna feel about things. And that'll keep him from working that back. Now we've sifted all through here. I use a kneeling pad to keep the sin of myself off the ground. Now if you look at this, in the grand scheme of things, you see that whole area here. You've got worked up ground, a little dirt, along with the rest of this whole patch here. And it's not really out of the ordinary, and there's no reason for him not to feel comfortable like that. So the main thing is make it look like another animal, another coyote come through here, might have dug around and buried him something to eat to come back later and get. And the coyote just happens to come back before the one that buried it did. Because if you'll remember, a coyote is a thief, and that is all his concern is. He can be eating on a 500-pound buffalo, and he smell a little old piece of rabbit meat in the hole, and he'll stop and steal it. We're gonna go sheep's wool. I got a little federales from Predator Control Group. Old Clint Locklear, he's a Tennessee trapper. I know he needs no introduction, I don't believe. He's been at it so long, and anybody that traps knows him and knows him well. He's an amazing trapper. I learned a lot from him years ago getting into this, and really appreciate him as a trapper. And he makes top-notch stuff. And he is a Tennessee boy as well. We got a little Trapper J's all predator lure here. I like it a lot. It doesn't have that strong summer, winter stink either. And before I left the house today, I put a dot of it up against some tuft of dirt on a little mound by the house, and my dog went nuts trying to get it. And then after he realized he couldn't lick it up no more, he started rolling in it, and then he marked his territory on it. So I know it's a good stuff. I don't know if any of you other people ever do that, but that's one way I like to test a lot of baits, is I always stash it in my yard, turn my dog loose, and see how he acts with it. If your dog, I mean, he's a canine, if he likes it, the bobcat or coyotes are gonna like it. And you know, it's summertime territory. He may catch a whiff. First thing he wants to do is come up and mark his territory. Well, you ever watch a dog, he comes up to the side to mark it. He could come right, we're anticipating him coming from this trail here, like I've been seeing on camera. Well, he comes around here and comes through. He's gonna come beside this tuft of grass to pee right there where I just put this pee. Well, that's gonna put his feet right here. And right there's the set. So that's beautiful. I think that's plenty for right now. That's 2 sets, a quick little summertime trapping tip. We're gonna let these soak, do their thing. We'll come by tomorrow after work and give them a check. If I have time before work, I'll swing by just to keep them from being in a trap as long. However, it usually takes a day or two for them. And then again, it could be in 2 hours tonight when the sun goes down. So stick with me, hang out. We're gonna follow this along for the next week or two. I'll do updates as we're checking, and hopefully next time you see me, we're sitting here on a big red Tennessee coyote. Morning, guys. First update. This is the first morning. I swung by on my way home way out to work this morning, and we've caught a coon. I'm not targeting coons, it's the wrong time of year. I've got my catch pole. We're gonna go up here and get him released, and then we'll be back this afternoon to fix this set. I don't have time to remake it right now. I've got to get to work. It's almost 5:30 a.m. right now. So I'm gonna clip this on my chest mount. Hopefully it captures it, and we'll take a look. Just want to do a day by day. Follow along. Young coon. Definitely wrong time of year. Try to get him released. I'm not choking him. I'm just holding him right there. I just got it right above his leg. Easy. There you go. There he goes. Running right up the old corn row. And that's just as easy as it's done.